Tonight, questions remain after a Chesterfield bus driver was arrested and charged with DWI. 8 News reporter Ben Dennis has been digging into what happened last Friday and the charges the bus driver now faces. Ben, good evening.
Hey there, Eric. Good evening. It was 72 hours ago that we last learned anything new from Chesterfield school officials or police about this alleged hit and run involving a school bus driver who was allegedly impaired. Well, why the lack of transparency? Tonight we're looking at the law, the potential consequences, and ultimately the future and what we may learn.
The facts that we don't know are going to be very important.
At this time Friday night, a Richmond utility pole was cracked in half and a school bus driver was booked at the Chesterfield jail.
And the bus kind of rolled over it and just kept on going.
50-year-old Janet B. Ellis was charged with DWI. According to her charges, she had an open container, refused a sobriety test, assaulted a police officer. Plus, she was charged with obstruction and failure to yield to an emergency vehicle.
The one that is probably the most serious is the assault on a police officer, because that is a felony charge.
We talked with 8 News legal analyst Russ Stone after we discovered the driver has a history in the courts. We found a charge of failure to stop at the scene of an accident from 2020. According to court records, she paid a fine for that misdemeanor. A year later, a charge for public intoxication. Online court records are unclear of if or how that case ended. We've asked Chesterfield schools questions Friday and today. Were they aware of her court history? Today, a spokesperson sent us the same statement they first put out, simply saying Ellis was no longer an employee.
Would Chesterfield Public Schools possibly bear any responsibility for this incident?
That's not going to come up in the criminal case, I'll put it that way. That could be the subject of a civil suit later on down the road, particularly if one of the kids was injured.
I got to thinking, what does it take to apply to be a school bus driver in Chesterfield County? Jobs are open. Let's take a look. Notably, the application mentions background investigations with the FBI, state police, and Child Protective Services. Certainly there would need to be proof if Chesterfield County did or did not overlook someone's criminal history. There is no proof at this hour. Stay with 8 News as we're still investigating this developing story. In Chesterfield, Ben Dennis, 8 News.